morning, everybody. Quite delighted to see a few guests already with us and looking forward to see a few more logging in. Pleased to see a number of people introducing themselves. Please share your websites. I've just been looking into a few websites there, and it is great to connect and see our members. So thank you very much. This is a session for the Biashara Now SME members. So you are the right place at the right time. My role today is quite simple, to introduce to you Invest in Africa. I think for everyone who has joined Invest in Africa at one point or another, you may have been introduced to the organization, but I'd like to take this opportunity today again to reintroduce Invest in Africa before we go into the main session of the day, where we are seeking to really talk about the value of networking for us as businesses and the opportunities we have to network with other members of Invest in Africa on Biashara.now. So I'd like to briefly introduce Invest in Africa. We are a not-for-profit organization, but we are also a network comprised of very diverse stakeholders who have come together to empower SMEs to be able to create sustainable jobs. How do we do this? By granting better access to skills, to markets, and to finance for our SME members. So we are a partner initiative, meaning that we were founded by partners, multinationals and large local companies who wanted to find a coordinated way to work with SMEs so that, of course, SMEs are the drivers of the economy. So they wanted to work with SMEs so that they can give proper value and enhance a chance for prosperity as an organization. And our vision, therefore, is to really be that leading network that accelerates trade and investment with SMEs. And as I have said, our role is to convene all these different stakeholders to be able to empower SMEs by granting them better access to skills, to market, and to finance, so that we are creating prospering African economies. We are a global organization founded in the UK, headquartered in the UK, but we are also a Pan-African organization because our operations are very Africa focused in a number of markets, both we have operations in a number of markets, both in East Africa and West Africa, but we have projects beyond those markets. And our aspiration is to go across Africa, since SMEs are the driver of economic development in almost all nations of Africa. So we want to be able to go across Africa with our work to create a prospering continent. Our mandate, therefore, is really to champion private sector-led development, and we do engage the public sector as well. We do engage the development world, so we work with a number of maybe previously known as donors, but now development partners who really support our work with the aim of creating jobs. And if I can just look at our three interventions. That's what I'd like to look at. Our initiatives, our interventions cut across three main pillars. Access to markets. Through access to markets, we have built a very unique online technology solution. That is our Biashara.now platform, where we are able to give SMEs visibility of opportunities that have been availed by our corporate partners, and at the same time, we are able to give our corporate partners visibility of the SMEs who are available to do business with them. We also have access to skills, where again, our aim is to increase your competitiveness by making sure that we understand the requirements of our corporate partners. And then we, of course, do a lot of dipstick surveys, a lot of research to understand which areas that you want us to come in with interventions for skills development or capacity building. And we have put in a number of interventions ranging from trainings, mentorship, coaching, among many others. And we have built an online platform where, again, you're able to access as much skills development materials as possible through our Knowledge Academy. Our third intervention cuts across access to finance, where we have partnered with a number of financial institutions. Our aim is to create products which are tailor-made for SMEs and which meet your requirements, whether it's equity or trade. And of course, we do know that sometimes the traditional financial products in the market do not necessarily suit the requirements of SMEs. So through our financial partners, we are able to co-develop products that meet your needs. We also deliver an investor readiness program that helps SMEs to both get bank ready as well as investor ready with a financial facilitation component to it. So over and above training, coaching to get investor ready, we also will link you to the finance that you need to access to be able to deliver effectively to the contract that you have won. I would have wanted to talk about our economic impact. We do have an economic impact tool that has been inbuilt into our Biashara.now platform, where we are able to measure, for example, the number of jobs created. And so far, we have just created over 82,000 jobs. This is our fourth year in operation. Actually, we are about to find out years in operation now because we hit 4 years in May. And we have been able to create about 82,300 jobs. We have over 5,000 SMEs who are registered on our platform, and they include about 180 consultants as well as smallholder farmers to the tune of 1,600. We have trained over 4,000 SMEs. We have done most of our training during the pandemic since last year, March, where we came in initially with response with, interventions to respond to the initiative, and now we are focusing on building SME resilience and building back better, helping also a number of SMEs to recover, both within the urban as well as rural areas. So that's it for us. I encourage you to plug in today, connect, let's network, and let's stay in touch beyond this point. So as we have said, we do have about 180 consultants that we work closely with, and we like to view our consultants as an extension of the capacity of Invest in Africa. Today, we are very proud and delighted that Lilian Masharia will be leading us through the networking session. And Lilian herself has over 15 years experience really helping small and growing businesses in different areas of business. She is a consultant beyond a trainer. So she's her focus is really project management, but as I've said, she's a seasoned consultant with over 15 years of experience, not just in training, but also in consultancy. She's a business coach, very passionate about helping businesses to really be able to grow and scale, improve their business models, as well as strategy. She has trained in several countries beyond Africa. So in Africa, Tanzania, Rwanda, South Sudan, and Somali, but she has also trained in the UK. She's a member of the Professional Trainers Association of Kenya and also an active member of the British Council's Leadership Forum. She has served in as a consultant, also introducing products and services in the market. So she's really the right person today to be talking to us about networking and how you can be able to leverage your networks and grow your networks to be able to help your business to scale even during this time of the pandemic. Lilian, we are so delighted that you could make the time to be with us today, and we are absolutely looking forward to your session. I see you're also joined by some colleagues. Nina Ishumwa has mentioned that she's your colleague and is here supporting you today. So you're most welcome. We invite you and look forward to the session and to your insights. Welcome, Lilian.
Thank you very much, Terry, for such a good introduction. Hello, everybody. It is a pleasure to have you here today for the SME Roundtable Networking Forum. Today, we are talking about networking as an impetus for growth, to find out how can we leverage on networking in order for us to be able to grow our businesses. So that is why we're here today. And it will be very interesting, and it can only become even better if people actively engage, ask questions. If a question is asked and you're in a position to even answer, don't wait for me or for the other conveners to do the answering. Just go ahead and give your answer, because everyone here has a wealth of information that is best when it is shared with the rest. So I will just give an introduction has been given about me, but as they said, I am Lilian Macharia from High Achievers Institute of Professionals, and I help business owners build businesses that fill up their bank accounts. That means I help you build and grow your revenues and your profits, as well as help you to create systems that free up your time so that eventually you're able to enjoy the fruits of your labor for all the work that you put into your business. It is able to provide you with time to go about enjoying the money that you're making. And today we are going to be looking at networking, and I'm going to be asking a question, and I would like some of you to give me answers. What is networking? What do you think networking is? Or what has networking done for you? We can engage each other in the chat rooms to find out how networking has been working for you. And in my slides there, I define business networking as a way in which you're able to grow your business opportunities as a result of building relationships with your prospects. Networking is about relationship building. The key word is relationship building. So networking is not equal to selling. Selling is different. Selling is one of the end products of networking, but selling doesn't come at the very beginning. At the beginning of networking, we build relationships with our prospects. And when you're in a networking forum, may it be virtual, may it be physical, and you meet people who are not a direct fit for your business, for the products that you sell, it doesn't mean that you should not seek to connect with them. Connect with them because they may know somebody, or they may know people who they are able to refer to you to provide the services or the products that they do sell. And we are going to look at what to expect from networking. What we expect from networking. And the first things that we expect from networking is that networking helps you to build relationships so that you're able to even get to know more people, get to interact or to connect with people who ideally you would not have met had you not engaged in that networking forum. And then networking also helps us to understand how our products or our services can be able to serve the needs or the challenges of the people that we are networking with. And with that, in networking forums, much as the primary reason we normally go into networking forums is to get prospects that we can sell to our products and services. In the networking forums also, we are able to find people who can be able to come to you and provide you with a service. Because even as an SME, when you go into a networking forum, or even in your normal day-to-day life, you're also a consumer of other products and other services. So when you go into a networking forum, you will encounter and make connections with people who provide goods or services that you might need for yourself as an individual and also for your business. So it is a forum to meet people who can do business with you, or people who you can do business with. So that is one of the benefits of networking. And then another one is that we use networking to share information and to get resources. When you go into a networking forum, and that is where I'm saying people should not shy away from engaging in the chat room. When you share information, you actually stand out, and some people take note and say, I need to get in touch with this person, or I need to get to hear more from this person. So when you're networking, you get to share information, and this information is the one that now people will use to be able to recognize you for the service that you do offer. The other thing about networking is that you get resources from other people. For instance, if say you are in the business of wedding catering, and then most of the time when clients come to you, when a bride and groom come to engage you for services, they also ask you things like, by the way, do you offer photography, or do you know somebody who can offer photography services? So when you're networking, you will be building a list of other people who can help you make your user experience, your customers' experience better. So you get this network of other people, other service providers who you can readily and freely share with your contacts as they engage with you. So you get to use those resources that you collect in networking forums to build your business. Then one of the key things that why we network is that we network in order to get leads, in order for us to be able to grow the number of prospects that are in our business. Because without a constant supply of leads in our business, there we will be encountering seasons that what we call the feast and famine season. One season you're very busy, so many clients, and you're busy serving them and really feeling energized about it. Then after that, you go into a famine season where now things go dry. There are no new leads coming in, no new prospects coming in. And so you go through a season where your revenues are really strained. If you engage in networking on a frequent basis and you do it right, then your flow of leads will always be constant, and you will be able to use that of leads to help you grow your business. Let's now look at the benefits of networking, because we network so that we are able to get to the benefits, get to know what it is that networking can do for us. And the benefits of networking, one of them is building your brand. If you are an SME, say for instance, you are an SME that produces maybe body creams, hand creams, etc. You know, your brand is not top of mind in the minds of your consumers. You cannot go and sit pretty, like nice and lovely, and think that customers will recognize you and purpose to pick your product from the shop. You have to build the awareness, and you do this through networking. So you get to build your brand to a point where when people see or interact with your product, they know what it represents. They know what the brand promise is. Then another benefit of networking is that you get to build business networks. And I mentioned this earlier when I said you build resources around you so that you're always comfortable. Even when a customer comes and asks you, how can I be able to do this? Say, like the example I gave for the catering business, they will ask, okay, so who can I go to for, say, tents and chairs? And you have this network that you've built around yourself from your networking activities, and you're able to freely share those referrals to the customers. Another thing about networking is in most structured networking forums, the beginning of the networking session, there is always an info session. That is a session where people get to sit down and listen to somebody. For instance, what we're doing right now. And then maybe we'll go, after that, we'll go to sessions where now we can interact with each other, ask questions, get clarification, and all that. So networking opportunities help you to learn from your peers. I remember, as Terry mentioned in the introduction, I used to be a member of the Leadership Forum by British Council, and it was a very good networking forum. And they always used to bring a lot of experts to come and educate us, business persons. And one time they had brought KRA people who really came with an understanding of SMEs without coming to chastise us or to judge us. They came there offering to help. So you get to learn a lot when you go into networking forums. And then, like I mentioned, it's a good source for referrals because people get to hear what you do, people get to understand what you do. And so when they hear somebody who needs your kind of service, they get to refer the person to you. And it allows you to get a steady flow of prospects. Always, you will get prospects coming into your business to engage with you and to get to know what you do and how you do it. So who do you target in your network? Do you go into the marketplace and just, shoot and look for everyone? So now we are going to be looking at who are we going to be targeting in our network. The first target group that you have are role models and mentors. These are people who are in your industry, and every time you look up to them, you say, when I grow up, I want to be like that person. So those are people you get into their networks, so that when you're there, they are able to build you. They are able to tell you things that they did that worked and things that maybe did not work, so that you don't make the same mistakes. The second category of people is people who can refer prospects to you. Go out and network with people who can bring prospects who are ready to consume your product or your service. Then the next category of the people that you need to be targeting in your network is your ideal customer. And a good business person needs to be able to have come up with their customer avatar, or a very detailed description of who it is they serve, because we cannot serve everybody. You need to come up with your niche and identify what are their common challenges, and then provide solutions for those challenges. Don't try and serve everybody. You will just burn out. You will just not look consistent and an expert in your industry. Then the other target that we do target are people who serve the same customer as you. For example, I am a business consultant. My customers are normally the customers that the SMEs who I do interact with to help them build successful businesses. Now, being that a tax consultant is also somebody who serves the same kind of niche like I do. They serve SMEs to help them uh, do their annual taxes, their VAT returns, do even maybe their bookkeeping. So because we serve the same kind of customers, we can come together and have a win-win relationship. If I have clients that need bookkeeping services, I refer to them. If they have, the tax consultant has clients who need consultancy in, say, strategy, they are sent over to me. So look for people who serve the same customer niche as you, but serve them in a different category, so that now you can complement each other by sharing what you do and how you do it. So we are going next to look at how to engage in your business network. How do you get to, go through the business network as you're engaging, and what are some of the activities that you do as you're engaging with them? And we're going to look at this as using the analogy of looking for food, because networking is about getting prospects, and prospects are food for any small business or even the big businesses. Prospects are good food for your business. So the first category, or the first way of engagement, is by gathering. Now, in this category, what you do is you go join forums, physical or virtual, that are run by industry experts, people who really are known as the gurus in your industry. So when you go there, you go with a student mentality. You go there seeking to learn as much as possible as you can from them, so that you can be able to use that knowledge to better serve your customers. And when you're in their gatherings, much as maybe they are way up there, actively participate in discussions. If they throw a question and you know you can be able to answer it, give an answer. If somebody else has answered a question in their forums, support that answer, so that you people, even in this big group, because there'll be many people like you who went there to learn and to gather information, they will be able to start recognizing you. Now, the second way that we engage with customers is now not gathering food like that squirrel in the image there is showing. The second way that we engage with customers is by sowing. So what are the activities that we engage in here? Like you can see in the image, that person is putting seed into the ground. When you put seed into the ground today, you do not expect that the harvest is going to be in an hour or in a day or in a week. It might take long, depending on the kind of crop. The Chinese bamboo tree takes 5 years to just sprout from the ground. Then you have things like maize that sprout in a number of days. So depending on the kind of client, depending on the kind of client service provider relationship you have, the sprouting might take a short time or a long time. However, in this sowing category of engagement, this is where you go to where you will find a good assembly of your ideal clients. And when you get there, you don't just go straight and start selling to them and telling them, this is what you need to buy. I'm offering this. I have this product. It is the perfect match for your problems. No, you first go in there and add value and value. Keep giving them good nuggets, nuggets of wisdom. And by the way, in this value adding session, you can use ideas that you gained from your gathering forum, from the forums of your mentors, and use that knowledge and package it into something that will make people say, that's nice. This person looks like they know what they're doing. Then in this session, like I said, in this engagement session, you are working in anticipation of future gains. The gain might not be immediate, but if you consistently do it, you will start getting gains. Because this is the session where you want to build the know, like, and trust factor. Because entrepreneurial gurus have said, people like doing business with people that they know, like, and trust. So if you have already made people know you, from the answers that and support you give, they start liking you. They will trust you with their business. They will trust you with their challenges. They will trust you with their money. And that's a good place that you should be at. And the third way that we engage with our customers, with our network, is through reaping. Reaping is now where now you sit back and start enjoying the fruits of your hard labor. This is what comes after you've built brand visibility, you have really built the know, like, and trust factor, and now you are converting prospects into customers. Now, in this reaping stage, now this is where you can actually do quite some active selling. Say, for instance, maybe you have a boutique, you have an online boutique, and you just brought in new stock. And you've been telling people about grooming for different body shapes, you've been advising them, etc. Now with your new stock, now you come and tell them, I have this consignment that has just landed. Take a look at the pictures and kindly call this number to place your order, or kindly go to our website to place an order. So the activities that you're engaging have a lot of call to action. You're asking now your audience to take action and now buy your product or service. If you're a consultant and maybe you have a program or a training that you're preparing, your call to action would be click here to register, click to pay, put into the shopping cart. Those are the kind of actions that we are talking about. So at this moment, I would just like to ask you, as you have been going through and getting to know the 3 ways that you engage with your network, kindly do comment in the chat and let us know, how have you been engaging, or in what areas have you been engaging more? Is it in the gathering? Is it in the sowing? Or is it in the reaping? Or you're the one who jumps from straight, hello, my name is Lillian, and you jump straight to, and I'm selling this. You're reaping even before you've sowed. Is that how you've been doing? Let's get to hear what you have to say in the chat room. And so now in networking, we have an introduction pitch. We don't have a sales pitch. Remember, we are not in business, or we are not networking then to make a sale right there and then. So when you go there, you don't go with your traditional sales pitch, you go with an introduction pitch. And it goes something like this. You put in your 2 names, give them your 2 names, and the name of your organization or the business that you are in, or the trade, assuming you're a solopreneur, you've not yet registered a business, but you still providing services. So you can give in a trade. For example, you can say, my name is Patrick Pokero, and I am a photographer. So there you're mentioning your trade because you still don't have a business name as yet. And then from there, you say what you do for your ideal customer. For example, you can say, hello, my name is Anita Baraka from Trendy Interiors. Now, Trendy Interiors is their business. And then I help busy working moms to glam up their homes without breaking the bank. Now, that means that you're helping people, mothers who are so busy and they've been looking at their living rooms and saying this needs to get redone, but they don't have the time to say, go to Isili to look for fabric for curtains, go to Mombasa Road to all the furniture stores to look for new seats. They don't have the time to even redo their furniture or even their walls. So you say you offer this service to them without breaking the bank. Now, the customer will be, you leave the customer with that feeling of, so tell me more. So your introduction pitch should just arouse curiosity enough for, if that person is a match for your product, they will want to know more. So normally you should leave them at a place where they're asking, oh, that is interesting, I would like to hear more, or that's very good, tell me how you go about it. Then from there, now after you've done the introduction, you can start engaging further. But remember, the dollar signs will come at the end. They will not come at the very beginning. Here we are just building relationships. We are getting to have them know us, like us, and trust us. So ways of networking. We look at ways of networking, and networking, normally we do it in two phases. We have the physical face-to-face networking, and then we also have the virtual networking. And we are going to be looking at each of these and seeing how you need to go about it. So the first one is the face-to-face networking. And this is the traditional networking that had been happening. It's still happening now, but more to a subdued, in a subdued way. Reason being that we are in the pandemic, and some people are still not very comfortable to go into gatherings in rooms and conference rooms. But it is a way, something that has been happening for very long. And those who have mastered the art of networking have been able to get a lot of business networks and also a lot of prospects for them. So in networking, we look at the networking ammunition pack. These are the things that you need to have with you when you go for a physical networking session, because I can tell you the number of times I have gone into a networking forum and people appear there looking so unprepared until you're left wondering, are these people here for the coffee and samosas, or did they come with an intention to network? So you need to have your ammunition ready. It is like a soldier going to war and they forgot to carry their gun. Surely you're not going to win that war. So in the networking ammunition pack, we have your business cards. Always carry a good number of your business cards because you need to exchange contacts with the connections that you have. The second thing that you need to do is have a plan of action. What are you going into that networking forum for? Are you going to straight look for prospects that fit your ideal customer? Or are you going there to look for business networks, people who you can be engaging every so often when you have projects or assignments that you need to do to grow your business? So say, for instance, the lady we talked about who has an e-commerce online boutique. Now she might decide to go to a networking forum to meet people who ship products to from Europe, or say from China or from the UK, and bring them to Kenya. That could be a reason they went for the networking. Or she could be going there to find event organizers who organize trade trips. Say they organize a trip to China and people, they do all the logistical nightmare work for the person. All you need to do is pay and show up, and they will take you and they will ensure you are taken to all the right places to buy your goods. That could be a reason. Or you, like I said, you could be going there to directly look for prospects for your business. Then when you're in a networking forum, another ammunition you need to have is you need to have your introduction pitch. And it should be something that flows out of your tongue so seamlessly, you don't look like you are reciting a poem or something. It comes naturally in your conversation. Then wear the right outfit for the event. I'm going to repeat that. Wear the right outfit for the event. There are times people go into networking forums, it was clearly indicated this is a black tie event, then you show up in your faded blue jeans and a polo shirt. You know, nobody from there on, nobody's going to take you seriously. Nobody is even going to be willing to take time to listen to your good product. And for sure, you might be having a very good product that you have for the prospects, but they won't listen to you because they don't take you seriously. Find out what kind of an event it is and then dress appropriately for it. Then carry a notebook and pen. Now, the notebook need not be that big A4 size notebook that makes people feel intimidated. They make people think, or it creates the impression that you want to interview them. Just have a small notebook that you can discreetly hold in your hand, the size of your phone or maybe even smaller, that you can take contacts in case you make a connection with somebody who didn't bring their business cards. You can be able to note down. And even there, you can also be able to note down anything else you discussed after that, maybe a time for an appointment, etc. Then there are those who say, oh, Lillian, no, we moved away from notebooks a long time ago. And I say, good for you. I am comfortable writing, but there are those who are very comfortable jotting the same information on their phone. All I'm saying is have a place where you can record things that you discussed with the person, the connection that you made, so that you're able to make a follow-up and make sense in the follow-up. Then we are going to look at how to network effectively. How do we network effectively? Number one is you define your niche. Define who is your niche, that is establishing your audience, so that if you go there and you find that this is an audience that ideally consumes your kinds of products, but you've niched down to a certain age group. Say you're a career coach and you go to a networking forum where there are very many people, employed persons, but their ages range from, say, 22 years all the way up to retirement age 60 years. Now, when you are there, you will be able to look, if your niche is say 25 to 35, then identify that audience and interact more with them, and leave the other seniors for somebody who has them as their target audience. Then define your objective. Are you going there to build business networks, or are you going there to grow your list of prospects or leads, so that you know how to run the conversation as you're making the connection? Then introduce yourself well using your introduction pitch. Then to get the conversation going, ask open-ended questions, because if you ask questions that require a yes or a no, chances are that is exactly what you will get, and the conversation will have come to an abrupt stop. A good way to ask questions is, if there had been a presentation prior, you engage the other person and you say, oh, it was nice to meet you after the introduction. And then you say, in that presentation, the facilitator mentioned that, say, for example, in your career, it is better to start pursuing short professional courses before you pursue the MBA. Then the MBA can come later. What's your opinion about that? Should you first concentrate on academics or professional courses? Then from there, you start engaging in a conversation with your connection. And that is how you're building the like factor. And then talk less, listen more, and establish what the prospect is expecting from you, what they want to hear from you. If the prospect is a suitable match, get an appointment from them, and then follow up. Send a thank you note to all the people you made a connection with in the networking forum. Let them know who you met, how you met them, what you discussed, and leave some way forward. I would be happy to have another meeting with you so that we can discuss this further, something along those lines. And then we look at the arenas for business networking. Where can we be able to network, and how are we able to network? The arenas for business networking is, you can go for physical seminars or online webinars. Those are very good places to network. Then you can join professional associations that periodically call their members for forums like ISPAC, LSK, IHRM, MSK, etc. Then you can join networking groups like BNI and Biashara Now. Biashara Now is the one that is run by Invest in Africa, and we'll be hearing more about it as we go along. And then you can also go to community and religious events and network there. Remember, you don't want to sound or look spammy, so don't go to a community event that has been put together for something different and then you start selling. Here, you just introduce yourself, what you do, how you do it, and let the conversation follow later. You don't start selling and pushing people to make decisions in such events. Then now we will look at online networking. And what do we do in order to be able to network effectively online? And the first thing that we do is to grow our online presence. You grow your online presence by, one, posting regularly in your timelines, pages, and groups. Because when you post that, people start seeing your name, people start recognizing you, people start recognizing what you do and the solutions that you provide to the marketplace. Then also join groups where your potential clients hang out so that you can engage with them. You can, if somebody is asking a question and you're in a position to answer, go ahead and answer. You never know who's listening. You never know who is watching. I have a friend who answered a question in a group that somebody had asked. And from there, she got a private message from somebody who said, our magazine usually features stories like yours. Would you be interested in that? And she said yes, but the person went cold and never came back to her. 2 months later, she got a call about this big magazine that wanted to feature her story. And long story short, she ended up being featured in that magazine because of one post, one value-adding post she had put in a group. So you never know who is watching, never know who's listening, you never know who's reading. Provide value. As in Kenya, we say, tenda wema, nenda zako, watakupata huko. So comment on other people's private posts that resonate with your brand. Why do I say this? Because at times, say you are in a serious career, like say leadership coaching, and you have been branding yourself online as this serious leadership coach that really works with executives to help them improve and even become better in their careers. And then now we have associated your name, your picture, and everything with that brand. Then we start seeing you posting things or commenting on somebody who had a very sexist remark that degrades or is derogatory to the female gender, and you're there really giving your input. Now that causes confusion to our minds. We're wondering, in leadership, we are in a country that is encouraging women to join leadership. You're a leadership coach. Here you are commenting on a post that is bringing women down. With that action, you bring down your brand. So the second thing in online networking is that you give more than you take. Add value in your social media interactions. Remember, this is networking. It is not selling. When you network appropriately, or when you do it effectively, selling becomes something so seamless. In fact, the prospect does not know how you moved through the sales cycle to the point where now they are saying, I'm waiting for that product. I'm waiting for those clothes you said you're bringing, because you have built such a good relationship with them. They are so ready to buy from you. Build the relationship, the sales will follow so seamlessly. And then when you're in the online network, provide useful nuggets to other people's networks. Don't just say, I will build my brand alone. Another way you can build your brand is by being visible in another person's group that maybe has more people than your group, or has people who are different from the ones who are already in your group. Then when you attend webinars, be visible. And I repeat again, my brothers and sisters, the attendees who are here, if you've not yet introduced yourself this far, really, you are doing yourself disservice in this webinar. Go ahead, introduce yourself. We know that you're there. Otherwise, if you just came in and walked out, logged out at the end of, you will be like the fly on the wall in the boardroom. It was there, but nobody noticed it. So kindly do go and introduce yourself. Then host your own online events. You can do Facebook Lives. Now I've seen TikTok videos that are now professional that people are doing. Go ahead and do what is comfortable for you. And we'll look at the do's and don'ts of networking. What are the things you can do, and what are the things you should not do when you're networking? Networking is talking about how you help your ideal client. It is not about talking about yourself. Talk about every time you're engaging, show them how you can be of help to them. Networking is also talking less and listening more. So don't go gloating about your title, about your academic achievements. People don't care about that until you show them that you will be able to help them with their problem. If you are just telling people, oh, my name is so-and-so, I am the founder and CEO of company XYZ, I have a PhD in 1, 2, 3, really, so far they still don't understand what you can be able to do for them. So tell them what you can be able to do for them. The networking is about building relationships. It is not about direct selling. You don't want to come across as those people want to avoid. When they see you walking in the street, they cross to the other side of the road because they know what kind of person you are. Don't be like that. Build relationships. Once the relationships have been built, then selling will happen. Then networking is a continuous activity that you need to engage, purpose, and plan and schedule for networking. It is not a hit and run activity. Every so often you might get something that looked like a hit and run. You just went, introduced yourself, and voila, a sale was made. That is an outlier. Ideally, most of the time in networking, we have to build the relationship. We get to know each other, we get to understand each other, and then we get to see how we can help each other. Thank you very much. I've really enjoyed talking to you. And yes, those are my contacts. And I can say thank you very much. If you have any questions, kindly do put them in the chat room, and we will do our best to answer all the questions that you ask. Thank you very much. Over to you, Felista.
Thank you so much, Lillian. This has been a very educative session. I think one of the things that I got away from today's session is that networking is not a sales pitch. So thank you so much for that, because I think we always think that we want to make the sale immediately through networking, but this is something that you have to sow, you have to wait. Thank you for that clarity. So I think we'll go to the breakout rooms next. Lillian, I think you can take us through the breakout rooms questions that the IAA team will be in the breakout rooms. That is, the purpose of the network room, the breakout rooms, is to practice what Lillian has taught us, to actually just start with the introduction pitch. What do you sell? Your brand. So I think that is what Lillian will be taking us through. Lillian,
Asante sana, Felista. Yes, as we go into breakout rooms, and like I said, be active, be visible, so that people get to know that you're there and what you do. The first question that we're going to be looking at is, how do you introduce yourself in a business network? And we are going to have this simple and fun activity. With what I have mentioned, and I talked about in the sales, in the introduction speech, compare it to the way you had introduced yourself already in this forum, and then rewrite your introduction pitch using the instructions that I gave. Who you are, 2 names, your organization, your trade, or your business, and what you do to support your potential or ideal client. So I want us to have a look at how you had introduced yourself prior and how the new introduction you come up with. And then the second question was, what has been your experience with the Biashara Network? For those of us who are already members of the Biashara Network, how has the experience been? And how can you be assisted to fully maximize? So the second question will be, what has been your experience with the Biashara.now network? And how can you be assisted in order to fully maximize on the opportunities that this online networking forum provides? So those are the 2 questions. How had you introduced yourself prior? How will you now tweak it to become an introduction pitch for networking? And then what is your experience with the Biashara.now? How can you be assisted to maximize it or use it fully in the future? I think that's it, Felista.
Okay, so I think this is the part where we go to the breakout rooms. That's correct. So the breakout rooms that we have 5 breakout, 4 actually, that are led by Invest in Africa team. So kindly, as Frank is taking us back to the breakout rooms, let's ensure that we network. We become visible in those rooms. Let's practice what we just thought. Thank you.
So the conveners of the breakout rooms, maybe you could give us some feedback of how the sessions were. Yeah.
Thank you, Lillian. We had a few members in our breakout room, including Eunice. We had Gordon and George also. We had a good discussion, and the members actually demonstrated how they introduce themselves. And one thing that really came out
is they didn't fail to mention how they can be of help to the persons they're introducing themselves to, and also sense a lot of confidence really came out. Confidence, clarity, and a ready-made statement for introduction. So that's what we basically discussed in our room, and the key takeaway points from our discussion. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Doreen. Good to hear that. Good to hear that people are actually realizing that in their introduction, they need to mention how they support or help their ideal clients, because at times we do introduce ourselves in a way that leaves your prospect wondering, so what's in it for me? What can you do for me to help me with any of my challenges or issues that I'm facing? So that's a good point to note. The other conveners of the breakout rooms, maybe you could also give us some feedback, and especially maybe we also would want to hear feedback on the Biashara.now network.
I was a convener of Breakout Room 2, and I'll just present the feedback that we received. So first we had the reintroduction of the members, just reintroducing themselves according to the pitch that you, Lillian, gave. And we had some members reintroducing themselves almost the same way. I think maybe they needed to have the opportunity to understand that they need to present what they do for their ideal customer. But all the same, we also had one member who mentioned that she has previously undergone training just to allow her to be able to give this introduction that presents what the business ideally does for their customers. So yeah, and she mentioned that this made her more intentional in presenting this information. And then we also moved on to Biashara Network and their experience with it. Unfortunately, none of the members has had the opportunity to use the network, but they are all very ready to use the network and are looking forward to using it. So that's the feedback that arose from Breakout Room 2. Thank you.
Hi, Lillian. My name is
Hello.
Lim Hazel. I was in Breakout Room 3, and the feedback was really good. They are grateful first for the session. They've learned a lot. And then also they've been able to reintroduce themselves quite well, especially the part where they have to describe what they can offer to the ideal customer. That was really well done by the 4 members in the room. And then also they have been able to share their experience on Biashara Network. 2 have not been able to engage yet, but they are going to do so after this session. And some have been having issues, but we'll be able to handle that after this. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lynn, for your feedback. Any other person who was convening the breakout session?
Yes, my name is Christine. Hi, Lillian. So I was convening the breakout room 4. So they were able to introduce themselves, and they were able to ensure that they mentioned their trade, what they do, and they made it clear according to what you had shared. Also, there was a question around whether they should have multiple pitches for different prospects. Another thing they mentioned was most of them are not members, but they're looking to join the Biashara.now platform. And one was able to use the opportunity at Biashara.now platform of accessing funds, and he's being taken through the onboarding process. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that, Lillian, and thank you for the participants. So at this point, we want to ensure that everybody can be able to access the platform we have been talking about, the Biashara Network. Like I'm saying, we want to see how we can practically engage and try to put into practice what we have learned from this session. So at this juncture, I want to invite the participants to log on to the platform. I want to believe a good number of us are members of Biashara.now. We could have guests who have logged in and they are not yet registered. We have shared the process of trying to register to become a member of Biashara.now here. So please, you can use this process and try to become a member of Biashara.now, and you can contact us for any concerns that might arise in your process. But at this point, I want to invite the members of Biashara.now right now to try to log in and see if you log in and then try to access Biashara.now, and then you can look into the profile that you have created from the presentation, and then you can begin by posting it there. And we are looking forward to a continuous conversation right from that particular engagement. So this is the login process. You are going to, I'm trying to take you through. I hope you have your browsers opened. So you're going to click on your browser. Then in the URL, you can log on to www.biasharanow.com. I hope we are together. We are doing this together. Go on to your browser and then log on to www.biasharanow.com. Yeah, I believe we are doing this together. Then on your top right, you'll see somewhere written sign in or become a member. But because now you're already a member, you're going to sign in. So after you've clicked on sign in, you'll be prompted to enter your sign-in credentials to log in. I hope you can remember your email and the sign-in credentials, the email and the password. But in the event that you've forgotten your password, you can enter your email in the sign-in window and click on forgot password. That will prompt you to reset your password. That is in case you have forgotten. But for those of us who have not yet forgotten their password, you just enter your email and your password. Then if you have forgotten your password, you will enter your email in the sign-in window and then click forgot password. Then you will click on get code on the next window, and you will receive a password reset code in your email. That is how you're going to reset your password. Then use the same process to log in. Now after you have logged in, it should show your name up here like it's showing mine. Yeah, that is how you know you have logged in. It should be able to show your name up here. Then now you can go ahead and click on Biashara Network. You can go ahead and click on Biashara Network. That is when now you are logged onto the platform, and that is how you should be able to access it always. But in case you are facing any challenge, we have Frank in the call right now. You can be able to post any error you are getting on the chat box, and Frank should be able to attend to you right away to see to it that you have been able to log on to Biashara Network. What we are doing, we want to ensure that people can continue engaging onto that platform. Like we have seen, it is very much important for you as a business person to pursue business networking. So this one is a platform that is providing you with that opportunity to be able to meet your fellow business people. You're meeting with your peer entrepreneurs. You're meeting with consultants like you have had. We have over 100 consultants onto the platform, so you will be engaging with them. And you can go right away into the live feeds, and you can already start beginning to see opportunities which have been posted there, especially from our hand. But most importantly, you should be able to post your own. You should be able to begin by posting the profile that you've been able to, the introduction piece that you've been able to come up with regard to the presentation that was delivered by Lillian. Like she has guided us, you should be able to create a short intro of yourself, whereby you are saying your full name, the trade or the business you are doing, and then what you are doing to your clients. That is the most important thing. So you can begin by posting that right on the live feed. Like Felicitas, when it was introducing Biashara.now, you can go ahead and attempt to even see the jobs that have been posted. But most importantly, you can post a job yourself, and people will express interest on the network. Further, you can attend live events or even create an event of your own as a member of that particular network. You can also create new projects to attract potential collaborators. If you are looking for a project, if you have a project you are putting in place, but then you are looking for people to work with you, maybe to get financing or to get skill sets that is required, you can post a project and then express the areas of interest for collaboration. Then right away, people will begin expressing interest. Coming to the same Under projects, you can also explore projects that have been posted and see where you can fit in if there is an opportunity for your business, and then you can view. Further to that, on the same network, you should be able to view organizations to work with and collaborate with. So we have over 1,000 organizations that you can see after you've clicked on the organizations tab, and already you can begin seeing their contacts, you can begin engaging with them, you can see contact people you can talk to. So that is Biashara Network. But in case you are experiencing a challenge in logging in, kindly post that right away on the chat, and our IT is on standby. They should be able to help you around. Yeah, and without much ado, I want to return this to Felicitas. Welcome, Feli.
Thanks, Raphael. I think we will wrap up with Lillian sharing a summary of what we did today. Lillian.
Thank you so much, Felicitas. It has been a good session. In case anybody has a problem or has challenges in networking, especially in the Biashara Now network, kindly do put your comments in the chat. We have really enjoyed having you. And as we go about our normal business, as we now break from this session, all I would urge is that now we network intentionally. Don't just go into networking forums, whether they're virtual or physical, just for the sake of it. Go there with intention. That's the only way that networking will be an impetus for your business growth. So thank you very much, everybody. If in case there's any pressing question, maybe we can take one or two. If there is none, then we can say have a good day. And anyone with a challenge joining the Biashara network, get in touch with the IT person. The contacts have been provided. Thank you very much. Back to you, Felicitas.
Thank you so much, Lillian, for coordinating this session, for sharing what networking is. My takeaway is still remember that networking is not a sales pitch. Thank you so much. So thank you so much for attending this session. Please reach out to us. Let's make use of this virtual tool, virtual networking. Thank you so much for attending this session. As Invest in Africa and as an organization, we are happy that we can actually provide a solution to our SMEs. Thank you.